This show brought to you by Circle of Seven Productions, www.cosproductions.com. Please be sure to subscribe and welcome to our circle.
Hello, everybody. This is Readers Entertainment Radio with Patricia W. Fisher, and I am here today to talk about amazing books with the amazing authors that create them. And we have one of my favorite people. Teri Wilson is the Publishers Weekly bestselling author and creator of the Hallmark Channel original movies Unleashing Mr. Darcy, Marrying Mr. Darcy, The Art of Us, and Northern Lights of Christmas, which is based on her book Sleigh Bell Sweethearts. She's also a recipient of the prestigious Rita Award for Excellence in Romantic Fiction for her novel The Bachelor's Baby Surprise. Teri has a major weakness for cute animals, pretty dresses, and Audrey Hepburn films, and she loves following the British royal family. Feel free to visit her at her website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest, also BookBub and Goodreads, and all of those links are in the write-up of the show. So welcome, Ms. Teri Wilson. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you, Patricia.
You have your coffee ready to go?
Yes, you're one of the only people who I would be willing to talk to at 7:45 in the morning.
We've had many talks at very early hours, actually.
We have. I know. You're one of the you're one of the rare few. So yes.
Yes, I think several of them have been on flights to places that we're both going because
oh my gosh,
we want the nonstop or whatever.
I totally forgot about that. Yes, we have taken many a flight earlier than this, actually. I mean, come on.
Yes. Yeah. What was it? I think one of them we had to be there at 5:45 or 6. It was not a pretty morning.
Oh, no, I think we had a flight that left at 6. I think we had to be there at like 4:45 or 5 o'clock or some crazy time. So I thought that part
and even still, and even still, the Starbucks line was very long at the airport.
It always is. That's why we have to watch out for each other, get each other coffee.
Yeah, have to tag team it as we stand there and wait for the
exactly.
The coffee
Are
line.
you here yet? Do I need to get your coffee?
Right. Who's first? Obviously, for anyone listening, that we've known each other for a while, which is nice. Just some random conversations happening. But what's been very fun about being not only just friends with you, but also professional colleagues is seeing each other, all the successes that have come along the way, as well as all of the frustrations. Because I think, anybody who is good at whatever they do is the person who kept doing it even when people were telling them this doesn't work and that doesn't work. When you got that first critique from that very first book you turned in, what was your initial reaction to say, okay, obviously I can't do this, or wait, maybe I can, or what went through your brain with that very first submission?
You're just assuming that it didn't get picked up and become like a national sensation. No, yeah.
Yes,
you
I am
probably
assuming,
remember.
yes.
The very first book I ever submitted anywhere was a YA romance, young adult romance. It was very horsey. It had a big horse theme. It was going through a horse phase, and the horse had a POV. Everyone was either missing a leg or had some sort of severe problem with one of their legs. I don't know. There was a lot going on. I still stand by that book because it was fun, but it will never see the light of day. And I just recently redecorated my office, actually, and when I was getting rid of my old desk, I found all these like artifacts. That's how old they were. That's what I'm calling them. Artifacts in the desk drawers. My Blockbuster card, for instance. And another one was the CD-ROM with this manuscript on it. I was like, oh my gosh, I still have it. I know. I mean, I don't have a computer with a CD-ROM drive anymore, but I'm sure I could get it off there if I wanted to.
Right.
But
take
yeah,
it to Kinko's or something.
Exactly. So I submitted that book. gosh, it was probably close to a decade ago, maybe not 9 years ago. And I distinctly remember I got the feedback on December 22nd or 23rd. I mean, it was like right before Christmas, Eve. And I know. It made an impression because I remember it after all this time. And they were basically saying that they had focus tested my book and it did not focus test well, and there were major POV problems, and they weren't really the focus test that the teens that they focus tested on weren't super excited about so much of the book being told from the horse's point of view. So I mean, I remember being disappointed, but what I remember most about that book is that it told me writing that book taught me that I could start a book and finish it. Because finishing is the hardest part about writing a book. I remember recently I wrote like a little free workbook on self-care for creative people, and actually it's free on my website if anyone wants to get it. It was just something I wrote for fun. And because I'm a big believer in self-care, taking care of yourself. But when I was writing that, I remember I came across this statistic, and off the top of my head, I don't remember what it is, but it was something like 1 in 99 people who want to write a book actually finish it. I mean, not everyone wants to write a book. That's just kind of like the American dream for a lot of people. But hardly anyone actually finishes it, because that's the hardest part. I mean, you know that. Every writer knows that. Yeah. And honestly, 30 books later or whatever, finishing to me is still the hardest part of writing a book, because at the beginning it's always shiny and new and fun, and at the end you're like, oh my God, is this ever going to be finished? But am I sure it's done? Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, I think back then, even though I did get that lovely rejection the day before Christmas Eve, I don't think it ever crossed my mind to just stop and give up. I mean, I started writing another book right after that. I tried to figure out what they were talking about with POV issues, because way back then I didn't know anything. I was a baby writer, and I just kind of studied it and found out, what that meant and what I was supposed to do. And I just started writing a new book with no animal POVs. Okay. But I think there was a book. I think there was a book years ago someone was talking about, Nora Roberts wrote, and I'm trying to remember the book, but everybody was talking about how she does POV, and one of the books, even the dog had a POV for like a short period of time, but she made it work. But she's been doing this for a while, so she's got her methods. But yeah, for a new writer, I think that's hard. Well, I mean, I still firmly believe in animal POVs. I mean, I'm joking about it, but I mean, there's been some great books with animal POVs. And back then, I mean, I wanted to write like a Black Beauty-esque type book. And that book is told by the horse's POV, or a lot from the horse's POV. And now, what was that book the book that came out recently, and then it was a big movie with the guy from The Dog's Purpose. Oh, The Dog's Purpose, too. I was thinking the other one with Enzo and the race car driver, and it had Milo. I can't pronounce his last name in it. That's on This Is Us, yes. Yes, yeah. The guy from This Is Us was in it, and so is Amanda Seyfried with the big eyes, and it had the golden retriever and the race car driver. When we hang up, I'll remember the name of that movie and book. But I can see the movie poster, yeah. Yeah, it was so good. I mean, I loved that book, and I loved the movie. So it definitely works. And but I mean, Nora is the queen of romance and can write her own rules now. And I will say that at that time, I read a ton of Nora Roberts, which is, I think, one of the reasons why I didn't really understand how I should be writing POV, because I'm not Nora. So, but I figured it out. And I still hope to write a book someday with some doggy POV in it. Or, well, I say dog now because I would be more likely to do that than a horse. But it would be fun. Right. Animals are always usually a big part of my writing. But that, I always do this. To answer your original question 10 minutes later, I still get rejections to this day. Like, I mean, I think people think once you're a published writer, you don't get rejections anymore, and I get rejections all the time. But if it's something I really, really want to do, if it's someone I really want to write for, or an imprint I really want, I just keep sending them more and more proposals until I wear them down,
That's right.
I think,
That's right.
persistence is a large part of this business. You can't let rejection eat away at you. You just need to figure out what you need to do better and try again.
Well, and I think too, it's also listening to what they're telling you, because it's one thing. Let's say when I entered my very first contest, it was the Chick Lit chapter, which is now the Contemporary Romance chapter for Romance Writers of America, and they have the Stiletto contest every year. So this was 2008, I think, and I had finished my book, and it was a Chick Lit type, first person, Jane Green type book, and I remember sending in and you had to print everything, and send 3 copies, and you had to have self-addressed stamped envelopes, yes. And I remember sending that, of course, like every newer writer, thinking they're going to think this is the most brilliant thing they've ever read in their entire lives. What has their existence been about before they've read my stuff? And so I got it back, and I pulled out the first critique, and across the top in big, bold letters was, "I hate first-person POV." And I thought, oh. And I remember just being devastated and then angry, because I'm thinking, why are you judging this contest if you hate first person? But the other stuff made sense. Like the grammar, this doesn't go anywhere. So you disregard that kind of crap because it makes no sense, honestly, with this. But you keep changing POV, you're head hopping, or you're not, the tenses are changing. Those kind of things are very valid. And so I think it's important.
For sure.
Yeah, that's to know. Yeah. To listen to. But even past year, you've talked about that, about sending in something and them saying, well, that's not really exactly what we want, fix this, and then, maybe we can, it's always a back and forth.
Oh, constantly, yeah. And I think that, too, with experience, after writing for several years, you look at a rejection or a revisal, or whatever. It's something, they either want you to change it or just say no. And there are always takeaways from it. Sometimes, yes, there are definitely things you can change. And I've jumped through hoops and changed proposals over and over and over again, trying to make it work sometimes. But then also, too, you just have to know what your goals are. And, is what they're asking me to change, is this staying true to the story that I'm wanting to tell, or what I'm wanting to write? And you just kind of discern whether or not the feedback is something that is objective feedback that's going to make your story better, or if it's just changing your story into something else until it's something that you no longer write. And I think that with experience, you can kind of tell those things, because like you said, with the I hate first-person POV, there's always stuff that is subjective, and then there's different things that are objective, like actual, definitely things that can help you become a better writer and make your story better, or like the POV, whether it's first person or third person. That's going to change the entire voice of the story. And, if you want to write first-person POV, if that's what you're into, of course you want to keep it that way, and then maybe just take your story someplace else, instead of, keep trying to change it for that one place or that one person. I love first-person POV. Right. I just turned in a book in first-person POV, but I know that that's kind of a love-hate thing. Sometimes people love it, and then other people just get turned off by it. I think that's weird, because I love to read, and I'll give anything a chance. I'm definitely not going to put something down because of what POV it is. I've been surprised by books all the time, thinking I'm not going to like this book, and then I read it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I never thought I would like books about, warring werewolves and fairies, or whatever. I've used that as an example because I'm usually not a big paranormal reader, but I have been surprised by things that, are paranormal that I like. So, but yeah, it did make me nervous. I told my editor, I said, I'm a little bit nervous about this book because it's first person and it's different from a lot of the other books on their list, because it's first person. And she was like, I'm not nervous about it at all. I was like, okay, good. Then I won't be nervous about it either.
There you are. Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're not nervous. Yeah.
Right.
And that's what helps too when you have an experienced author, an experienced editor, and somebody who's, and there's a lot of really good editors, but just somebody who really gets you and as well as the market and how you guys complement each other. I know you'll fit
Right.
here and this will go well. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
For
tell
sure.
me, you just finished, well, you didn't just finish. You have your newest book out, and it's The Story of Us. And it's
Yes.
based on the Hallmark movie of the same name. The movie
Yes.
came out, and then they wanted you to do the adaptation of the book adaptation. Tell
Yes.
us how that came about, because I know that Hallmark had done movies about your books, and then now
Mm-hmm.
you're doing adaptations about other stories. So tell us the process of how this happened.
Okay. Yeah, and it's totally confusing. Even my mom's confused. She's like, I don't get it. The movie came out first, and now it's a book, but usually you do the book to movies. I was like, I know, it's the whole thing. But, yeah, so I've had several books that have become Hallmark movies. And then a few years ago, I mean, it's still pretty new, Hallmark Channel started their own publishing company called Hallmark Publishing. And they do publish original fiction books, but they also do novelizations of Hallmark movies.
Mm-hmm.
So they do it where it was a movie first and then a book. And so, yeah, I mean, they asked me to do it, the first one. I had been sending them proposals for different books, and I do have my first Hallmark Publishing original book coming out this Christmas. It's the one I was just telling you about that's in first person. It's called Christmas Charms. So I have been sending, different proposals for different projects, and, we were still, figuring out how to land on one that would be right for them. And they just invited me to do my first novelization for them, which was Love at the Shore. It came out last summer. It was a beach read, and I loved it. And, that went really well. So they invited me to do another one, which is the one that just came out this month. It's called The Story of Us. And it's a fun rom-com. The heroine owns an all-romance bookstore in a really cute historical district of a small town kind of near Portland. And, a big developer is coming in wanting to plow down the historical district because it's not doing well, and the town is figuring out how to revitalize their community. And so they have this plan that a developer is going to just build something new and bigger and better. And, of course, the architect of the development just happens to be Jamie, the heroine's old high school sweetheart. So that causes a lot of issues. There's a whole lot of You've Got Mail kind of vibes to this story, which I love. So yeah, I love doing the novelizations. I mean, I was so excited when they asked me to do the first one. And then when I got this one, I was just thrilled. I mean, it's always an immediate yes, because I'm a huge Hallmark Channel viewer. That's like my happy place. And I was always a big Hallmark fan even before I started having Hallmark movies. So, I mean, I watch the movies constantly for fun. So to me, it's like, what, you want me to just watch this movie over and over again and write the book version? I mean, it almost just seems like too good to be true that I get paid to do that. But so, yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do. I hope I get to write another one because I love doing it.
Well, I think one of the more fun parts of it would be if anybody was bothering you, you're just watching TV. No, I am working.
Exactly.
Making sure.
I mean, I know it looks like I'm in my yoga pants with my dogs on my lap watching TV, but no, this is my job.
But they send you the script, correct? So you're able to, the dialogue is there and the settings and the specific names of different things. I mean, all that's there. The shooting script you get that, correct?
They do. It's interesting, though, I think, for book writers, because the average TV viewer out there has never actually read a script before. And so the script is a lot different than a book. So, like, when you read the script, yes, it has the dialogue. It'll have minimal stuff. There'll be like, Jamie walks out onto a cobblestone street. There's a cherry tree in the background. Just very things like that. But I think that if the biggest difference between the script and the movie is, the characters don't really have a lot of backstories at all. I mean, because like in Love at the Shore, the novelization I wrote for my beach read, specifically what I'm remembering is that there was no information whatsoever about the hero's family. Like, you didn't know where his parents were, if they were dead or alive, how he grew up, any of that. And so, which is actually kind of fun because in a book, that's always really important. You have to understand the character's motivation. And Hallmark has been really great with letting me fill in all those blanks. I've gotten to make up the characters' backstories myself and just add a whole lot of information that wasn't in the script, because a script is only like 70 to 90 pages. You know, a book is closer to 300 pages. So obviously there's a whole lot more information in a book than there is in a movie. That's just the difference between the two. And of course, scripts are more visual because they're going to be on television. So yes, I do get the script. But another thing also that I didn't really know about scripts until I started having my books adapted into movies is a script isn't like a book. They don't write a script and then there it is. It's the script, they make the movie. A script is a lot more of a living document than a movie is. It changes every day. I mean, they're filming every day. They might do something different. They might tweak it. And there's a person on set whose job, supervisor, and their job is to just document all the different changes in the script from day to day to day. And they sit there and make notes about what they shot that day and how the dialogue was different and that kind of thing. So it was obvious to me right away when I started getting the scripts for the novelizations that maybe I was not getting the final version of the script, because sometimes the script doesn't match the movie exactly. So the first thing I do when I do a novelization is I sit down and watch the movie while I read along with the script, and I note all the changes, all the different ways that the script is different, because I don't want to write the book based on the incorrect script. You know, I want it to be true to the story. So yes. So, I mean, at first I thought, this will be great. I can just copy and paste all the dialogue. But no, you cannot do that. But it's good because when I do that, when I go through and compare the script to the movie, at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how to divide it up, what the easiest way to divide the movie or the book into scenes and chapters. Scenes are obvious because you can see the movie scenes and scenes, but I like to try and figure out which scene would be best told from which character's point of view, the hero versus the heroine, and then how to divide those scenes up into nice chapters. So that's always the first thing I figure out, that and correcting all the dialogue in the script.
It's interesting that you mention the filling in the backstory blanks, because I would guess that if someone watched the movie initially, then read the book adaptation, and watched the movie again, it might be a rather different movie after reading the backstories of these people.
I hope it is, because that means I'm doing my job well, because I think the point of the novelizations is to give Hallmark fans or fans of the movie a deeper, richer understanding of the story. I mean, you don't want it to be exactly the same, because there would be no point to having the book, I'd like to think that it's a way to honor the film, but to make it kind of into something new at the same time. So I hope so. I hope the movie and then read the book and then watch the movie again. There's a really popular blogger for Hallmark. Her name is Ruth Hill, and her website is called My Devotional Thoughts. And she interviews like all the big Hallmark stars. I mean, her blog is amazing. And she reviewed my book last week, and The Story of Us, the new one. And she gave it a really, really nice review. I was so happy about that. But she also said that when the movie first came out, she liked it, like she does all Hallmark movies, but it wasn't like her total favorite or anything. And she said actually after reading the book, she is a much bigger fan of the movie than she was before. So that's kind of like what you were saying. But I love that. That was one of my favorite comments to get. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And, with the movies that you did, like Unleashing Mr. Darcy and such, I think there's also the misconception, a lot of people think that, then they ask you all sorts of questions about your book and want to, make sure they have your input on it, and that's absolutely not how it goes when your book is made into a movie. Yeah.
No, and it's not because, they're mean or anything. That's just how it always works. I mean, that's the procedure. Once
Right.
a writer sells the rights to their book, it's no longer their story, and the studio can do whatever they want to with it. But especially in the case of Hallmark, I mean, they're the only studio I've ever worked with before. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know what the viewers want, and they know how to take a story and to make it into something that is going to be true to their brand, but then honor the original material at the same time. So I've always been really, really thrilled with everything they've done with my work. I mean, I think if you're J.K. Rowling or something, you can probably have some input.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's only a handful of authors that are, that have that kind of prestige and notoriety to really have some input into their work. And of course, there are authors too who write their own screenplays. I've never done that because I don't know how to write a screenplay, and I want someone who knows what they're doing to write my screenplays. But that is on my bucket list: learn how to write a script. I mean, I would like to write one sometime, not necessarily because I think it's going to get made, but just to do it, to learn how. I think it would be really cool.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely its own animal regarding how to write it and the different beats and everything. I mean, the where you hit for like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, that all is the same. Because we've all taken Michael Haig's thing, and we all have a copy of that timeline thing he sends out.
Yes.
So you hit all the beats, but I think it's applicable obviously to books versus movies, even versus series, and then each part of it. Mm-hmm.
Sure. And I think though that what surprised me the most the first time I was ever on a movie set is how much they accomplish in such a tiny amount of time. Like I would watch the scenes and it was like 5 lines of dialogue back and forth and the scene was over. I'm like, oh my gosh, are scenes always this short? And they said, and I was talking to my producer, and she said, yes. She said, next time you watch, and she said, even with the big Hollywood blockbusters that come out on the big screen, you don't realize how short the scenes are while you're watching it, and that is the mark of a good movie or a good editor, a good filmmaker, a good screenwriter. They're getting so much done in such a tiny amount of time, and I'm used to sitting down to write a book, and I'm thinking of a scene as a certain number of pages. I mean, there's a lot of meat to every single scene. And similarly, there's a lot of meat to scenes in movies, but they're just a lot shorter. You don't have to write all that stuff out because you can see it. You can see all the setting and all that kind of thing. So it's just a different way of writing for sure.
Well, I do have to brag a little bit
because with her sweet toy, so that's noisy. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Last week, my dog was barking for part of this. It's like and I didn't want to get up and open the door and do something because we were interviewing. Yeah, it was his. So my apologies to Fernanda River Jr., who was very patient. Yeah.
I forgot about the squeak toys. Oh, and how appropriate! It's a Starbucks toy that she's squeaking.
There you go.
Coffee.
I have to brag a little bit because I remember when you texted me about them picking up Unleashing Mr. Darcy, but you couldn't say because nothing had been, official. And
right.
But I remember you texting me saying, Patricia, something amazing happened with some of my books, but I can't tell anyone. And I jokingly said, "What is one of your books going to be made a movie?" And you were like, "Patricia!" It's like, "Oh, easy. That was easy."
I know, right? Well, that's so many authors. That's their dream. We all dream of that. I still dream about it. I mean, it still is like the best thing ever. And so, of course, that was your guess. But oh my gosh, I couldn't tell anyone, but I had to tell someone. I mean, come on, how can you hold that information in? So
it was difficult, and I do appreciate too that you sent me pictures of them filming. I didn't show anyone, but it was like, ooh, look at this, and got to see because you had met everyone backstage and behind the scenes for Unleashing Mr. Darcy. Just that was very cool because it was just looked like it was a really cool group of people to work with, and just everyone seemed to be generally happy to be there.
Right. I just remember that I was in Canada for filming, and had very limited cell phone service, and it was killing me. I was like, I had all these photos, and I was like wandering around the mansion where we were filming on Mr. Darcy's estate, like looking for a bar so I could send pictures to all my friends back home. I was like, oh my gosh, this amazing thing is happening to me. I'm not allowed to post on social media about it, but at least let me send a photo to my friend, you know.
My friends who are sworn to secrecy can't show anybody.
Exactly. My mom was so stressed out about it because I was telling her all about it too, and the fact that she couldn't tell people was torture for her. It stressed her out so bad. She was a total nervous wreck about it. So, she'd be like, I accidentally told the person across the street. I'm like, it's okay.
It's all right, Mom. I mean, I think it's funny because as you've been in these gotten to do these little cameos, the first one, of course, it was you just walk behind in the background. But then, like, for the wedding, like marrying Mr. Darcy, I mean, you're right behind the aunts, and I mean, you moved right on up there, and you're sitting right behind everybody. You've got a major focus right there.
Right behind Frances Fisher. I was like, this is so bizarre. And they did, and you know, I had more like hair and makeup and stuff in the subsequent ones. In the first one, I had been sitting outside. My hair was frizzy. I was wearing, you know, I was dressed super casually. First of all, I'm sure that to the naked eye, no one even notices me because I literally walk just through the, you know, in the background, like in the distance. But if anyone does pay attention to it, I'm sure they're like, why is this person so underdressed in this country mansion right now? Why is everyone dressed up? And she's just like schlepping through there in leggings and tennis shoes.
Right. Yeah. She's obviously
hair.
lost.
I don't get it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. This
poor lost soul wandering around. So, yeah, I'm a little bit more polished in the wedding movie. It was fun. Okay, so, I mean, I don't want to give away too much of the movie if no one has seen Marrying Mr. Darcy, but there are two different wedding scenes. That's all I'm going to say. And in one of the wedding scenes, I was seated, you know, between two extras in the movie. And I guess one of the extras was supposed to be my date because then we sat next to each other in the other wedding also. But the two extras that I was sitting between had both been extras in the Twilight movies, in the Twilight wedding, and they had been extras in the wedding in the 50 Shades of Grey movies. So I was like,
wow,
you guys are
they
like
get around.
professional wedding guest extras. It was really fun talking to them about it because we were taking selfies and stuff, and they were telling me how on the set of Twilight and 50 Shades they confiscated all the cell phones of all the extras because they didn't want anything to get leaked. But it was just crazy. It was a really fun experience. I loved it. I love being on set. I love everything about it. It's just, you know, the magic of movie making is something I've always been interested in since I was a kid, and I still love it.
Right. So you've got, you just turned a book in, The Christmas Charms, and then I know you're crazy busy this year, but what is your schedule this year? I mean, what's being released? What is coming up? What's going on?
Okay, well, I have a new series for Harlequin Special Edition. You mentioned my book, The Bachelor's Baby Surprise, and how it won the Rita Award last year. So they were really interested in having me do a series focused on babies after that book did so well. So I have a new series with them coming up called Lovestruck Vermont, and it's about a tiny town in Vermont called Lovestruck, where love comes in packages. And each book is centered around there's a baby or babies in each book. But the way I'm writing them, it's kind of unique. It's just these babies kind of like pop up out of nowhere, which you'll have to read to find out. But the first book in that series comes out this summer in July, and it's basically a fashionista who works for Vogue magazine, gets laid off, loses her job, has to move to this tiny town in Vermont, and the only job she can get is writing the parenting column in the local paper, even though she knows nothing about children or babies.
Okay.
So she takes a part-time job as the night nanny for one of the local firemen who has twin daughters. And they're 6 months old, I think. So she takes a job as the night nanny to twin 6 months old, even though she knows nothing about babies, just so her column can ring more authentic because people are complaining. She has this one particular troll writing to the paper complaining that she doesn't know what she's talking about. And so that's kind of the setup for the story. It was so much fun to write. And I recently did the final proofread of it. And I was like, man, I love this story. It was really, really cute. Once you get, after you turn a book in, you step back from it and you read it again and you can kind of see it through new eyes. I'm really excited for that book to come out. So the first book in that series comes out in July. It's called Baby Lessons.
Okay.
The second book in that series will come out in December, and it does have a Christmas theme, Christmas baby in it, and it doesn't have a title yet, so I can't tell you what that one is.
Okay.
That's the book I'm actually writing right now. That's the book I'm actually working on writing. And then in October, I'm really excited about this, is Christmas Charms, which is coming out from Hallmark Publishing. And it's my big single title book that's coming out later this year. And it is a Christmas story. Hallmark does Christmas so well, and a lot of times they'll have like a little dash of Christmas magic in their books. And that this one does too. It's told in first-person POV, so it kind of has like a chick lit sort of flair to it. There's a magic charm bracelet. There's just all sorts of – it's a really, really fun story. I can't wait for that book to come out. It was a book I wanted to write for a really long time, so I was really glad that I got the opportunity to do it.
And then are you doing writing for more books for next year, correct?
Yes, for 2021. I'm not sure what all I have coming out in 2021 yet. There'll be probably the last two books in the Love Struck Vermont series for special edition with the babies. I'll probably have two more of those, 21. I'm not sure what, if anything, I'll have going on with Hallmark in 2021 because the schedule's not set yet, so I'm not sure what's happening with that for next year. I'm also working on a new series of rom-coms, romantic comedies for Source Books Casablanca, and they're all doggy themed. The first one is a 101 Dalmatians inspired rom-com called The Dalmatian Flirtation, but it does not have a release date yet, so I'm not sure when it will be coming out. Because I'm still working on the book. So it might be coming out in 2021. It may even come out in 2022. I'm really not sure. Hopefully 2021, but we'll see. Right. But anyone who follows me on social media knows that I'll post about it because I am constantly posting about all that kind of stuff. So I don't know,
and
2021. And plus I have other project with a different publisher that I might be working on. So lots of exciting things happening.
So, think about 10 years ago when you got that story back about, we're not interested in your horse POV. And now here you are a decade later, with too many projects to even consider. That's a huge jump, that process.
It's not like I have publishers beating my door down or anything. But
you're busy.
No,
you're steady busy.
I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm busy, and I'm fortunate. I'm really grateful that I'm busy. I just, there are a lot of opportunities out there. And, oh my gosh, I forgot to talk about one exciting thing I have coming out this year. Can I back up the truck and talk about that? I forgot. Yeah, I'm really excited about this because it's a project that I spearheaded, so I can't believe I forgot to bring it up. I'm doing a Christmas anthology of short stories and novellas with a bunch of writers that I'm friends with. And it's my first time ever doing anything like indie published. And we're just kind of doing it together. And the book is coming out the week after Thanksgiving. And it's called Christmas Actually. Christmas Actually. And it's all just romantic comedy novellas. And there are 10 authors participating. Some of them are USA Today bestsellers. I'm doing it. We've got Nancy Nagel is doing a story for it. So is Stephanie London. Tiff Marcello, Lindsay Emery, Victoria Shade, Lacey Baker. I really feel bad that I'm rattling off a list because I know I'm going to leave someone off the top of my head. Teri Wilson, who is a big bestseller for Amazon. We have a lot of exciting authors participating, and so it's going to be really fun. Carol Carson, she's a USA Today bestseller. So that'll be coming out the week after Thanksgiving. And it will be 99 cents for 1 week only. So hopefully someone will pick that up But yeah, it's just kind of something we wanted to do for fun to try and introduce ourselves to each other's readership. So I'll have that as well. Yeah. So I'll have Baby Lessons in July, Christmas Charms in October, Christmas Actually in November, and then another baby book for special edition in December.
Wow. And then you have the book now. That's The Story of Us is out. So that's going on.
Of course. Yes, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves because I want everyone to read The Story of Us. I love this book. It's really fun, and I love the cover. It's super dreamy. It's very pink and has lattes on it, and if you're into that kind of thing, you will love it, I promise.
And there's a cat in it as well, correct?
Yes, there is a cat named Elliot. He's a ginger cat. He works at the bookstore with the heroine. He's the heroine's cat. And one of the things, the cat is named after T.S. Eliot. That's why his name is Eliot.
Right.
The heroine is very literary. She owns a bookstore, and she's she's also an author. So she named her kitty after T.S. Eliot. And what I think a lot of people don't realize is T.S. Eliot, a famous poet, the musical Cats is based on a book of poetry of his, all about cats. He has a whole book with poems about cats, and that's how they came up with that musical.
Huh. Yeah, that's right. Because I've seen the musical a few times, but that's correct because I remember reading in the playbill. That's what that was. So, gosh, yes, I think I need more coffee.
I've never seen the musical.
Yeah.
I've never seen the musical.
It's really cool.
I feel like
now
the only person on earth who hasn't seen it.
No, I mean the movie was. Don't watch that, but the musical. And I do love every single actor and performer in there, but that was just a big mess.
I'm not a fan of CGI, so that's why I haven't seen it. But yeah,
it's but the musical itself is tremendous, and it's not just the story is like okay, but the athleticism of the dancers. I mean, it is intense, and so it's phenomenal to see these performers. I mean, truly.
Cool.
So yeah, it's worth seeing if you ever get a chance. They're still showing it in London, I believe.
I'm sure it'll be around forever. But the heroine in this book, Jamie, loves books, and so of course she would give her cat a literary name. That's one of the fun things about the book is I remember an editor told me a year or so ago I had a book out called The Accidental Beauty Queen, and it had a lot of literary references in it. And she told me, she said, Teri, I know this book is going to do well because readers love books about books. People love to, people who love to read love books, and they like reading little snippets about other books within a book. So The Story of Us is very much like that. There are a lot of books mentioned in it, a lot of literary references because books are so important to the heroine. So so I love that she named her cat Elliot.
Oh, I love that, and I love the actress Maggie Lawson. She's been in a bunch of stuff, so I love her stuff and her demeanor. So I think it's just an all around fun thing.
Yeah, she's super likable, and the hero is Sawyer is played by Sam Page, who's one of my favorite Hallmark actors. I love him, so I was really excited to snag a Sam Page project. I was like, woo, Sam Page. So he's in a royal movie. Hallmark does the royal movies, and he's in one called A Royal New Year's Eve. And Sam Page plays a prince. He has accents and everything. And, oh, my gosh, I think, that movie came out 2 years ago, I think. Every time it comes on again, I swear I email my editor. And I'm like, if you ever decide to do novelization of this, please call me. I want to write it so bad. I'm sure she's like, leave me alone, Teri. But, it would be
Don't answer the phone.
That's a New Year's book. With a Royal New Year's book with Sam Page. I would be so excited. Shout out.
You never know.
To this.
Yes.
I know.
Well,
right?
You never know. I mean, you keep asking. You just keep asking. And eventually, like you say, you wear them down. And like, fine, just give her something to do.
I'm not advocating harassing your editor, okay? But just saying.
Right.
Put it out.
Not at all. It's just persistent.
Come true.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
A little professional persistence. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Teri. I really appreciate you spending your morning with us, and hopefully you can get to that coffee here soon. But please come back later this year and tell us what's going on.
Of course, anytime. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. And that was Teri Wilson, the author of Unleashing Mr. Darcy and the most recent release, The Story of Us. She also has multiple other books out there with Harlequin and all sorts of places. She also, you can check her out on her website, which is teriwilson.net. She's also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can find her books on BookBub and Goodreads and Amazon and everywhere else you can buy books. So please check her out. And we will see you guys next week. Keep on reading.
This show brought to you by Circle of Seven Productions, www.cosproductions.com. Please be sure to subscribe and welcome to our circle.
From the excitement of nominations to the applause after the opening of an envelope at the big award shows, The Hollywood Reporter is your source for the inside scoop on the moments leading up to and celebrating the wins of your favorite films, actors, and all the people that made them. Follow the race at HollywoodReporter.com for predictions, reviews, and voters. Check out the THR Awards Hub for everything you need for award season coverage. Visit THR.com today and subscribe to our newsletters so you don't miss a beat.
Every day when you log into ChumbaCasino.com, the ultimate online social casino, you get a free daily bonus. Imagine if you got daily bonuses in other parts of your life.
I chose French fries over loaded French fries.
I asked Stuart from accounting about his weekend, even though I don't care.
I updated my operating system without having to call tech support.
Collect your free daily bonus at ChumbaCasino.com now. And live the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.